wedding anniversary. Yeah?
Today's date.
And never, ever forget her shoe size. You know she likes her shoes.
Yeah.
But anyway, you've been warned. Anyway, back to business. So the club, yes, was called Attic, and we were up in this club like some real ballers. We had about 6 bottles of champagne all around us, but they would buy one, get one free. See, Ellie didn't know these times that Bunty loves a bargain. But yeah, Bunty spotted her, and his words at the time, the hottest girl in the club. And in true Bunty style, he moved to her with no delay. And bang, we are here today. But in true Eddie style, don't think she made it easy for him, you know. But anyway, Ash's gonna take it away a little bit more.
Hello. Hello. Right, I just want to start by saying a big thank you to everyone who's been involved in making this a beautiful day so far. And how stunning does Ellie look? Come on, give her another clap. Even though she looks amazing today, she will tell you herself that nothing beats how she looks in her wonderful work hat. I'm sorry, Ellie, I know how disappointed you were that you couldn't wear it today, but I'm not sure it would have gone with a dress. For people who don't know Ellie, she wears this hat everywhere. Watching TV, in bed, you name it. Bunty even had to stop her taking on holiday when we went to Turkey the other year. So I met Bunty in around 2005. We met through a mutual friend, Daley Cooper-Louie, who sadly can't be here today. Take your time, Pete.
No pressure, no pressure.
That's the one. No doubt, he's somewhere right now with a chicken wing in his mouth. I'm sure he would toast you both on this beautiful day by raising his chicken bone in the air. Anyway, enough about Daley. So me and Bunty met through him as we both started playing for a five-a-side football team that Daley set up. And this is where I had the pleasure of meeting these two gentlemen as well. Lovely boys they are, lovely. I remember my first encounter with Bunty clearly, and to be honest, I was just very confused. The first thing that came into my mind was, why am I playing football with a frog? There we go. I know we've seen animals on the pitch before, buying like Suarez, but this was a frog on a football pitch. I shook his hand and I was just expecting him to leap on my back and say, "Ribbit!" It didn't help either that I was colourblind. Truthfully, I am. So I actually thought he was green. From that point on, he was known to me and the rest of us as Froggy, Swampy, or Kermit after Kermit the Frog. Second thing I remember was he literally had a fan club to watch him play football. Henry, Clem, Michelle, all we used to come down and watch all of our games. When wet, wind or snow, they were there to cheer us on. I just remember in our first game thinking, we are playing for this 2-bob five-a-side team, and this dude has got his own fans watching him. He must be flipping good there. So Bunty's there before the game, stretching his frog legs. And to be fair, he was looking the part, and I'm actually thinking here, this guy could be professional. But then the game starts, and I was totally bemused. This frog could run all day like Mo Farah, and the problem was he couldn't kick a ball straight. I remember leaving the field that day and thinking, how are you going to drag all your family out in the rain and snow to watch you fall over the ball the whole game? I would like to add though that Bunty, through my training, has become a great player. That's because we put him in goal, because he loves a leap. Nah, I'm playing. He really is a good player. Now, credit to him, but seriously, he was rubbish back then. It's only taken him 8 years to get better though. Take it away, Dev.
Thank you, mate. All right, it's getting way too nice for my liking in here. So now we're going to delve into Bunty's personality.
This is the bit I've been looking forward to all day. So a lot of you will know, as I've mentioned earlier, you know him as his representative, Jean-Paul. The kind, cuddly frog and family animal with that big grin. Well, let me enlighten you about his other side, the bit that I know. So before I continue, are the caterers still in here anywhere? Anyone in here from the caterers? Okay. If there's any eggs in here, eggs Bonts, please keep them away from this man. He has a thing about throwing them in defenseless women's faces, so ladies, be careful. This is real talk as well, no? This isn't stories, this is true. So I remember us driving around college, and Bonty would just randomly shout, "Stop!" He'd leap out the car, frog style of course, with a pack of 6 eggs. Now I don't know where these eggs always came from, but he always had eggs on him. He would chase, and I mean, Usain Bolt chase, young victims to their doors. They were mainly girls as well, and he'd be careful, okay? So he'd chase them to their front door, and he'd proceed to launch the egg directly at their heads while running off laughing hysterically. Or launching them from the car at a mother pushing her pram. I'm sorry, Bonts. Right? I kind of don't want to continue up now. So unfortunately, this was a pastime at college for some strange reason. And one he took a little bit too much pleasure in. So please, again, no eggs on the menu. There's only egg sweets in there. Keep anything egg-shaped away from Bonts. So where was I? Yeah. We've been through a lot. We've had fights, wars, police, sorry, Clem, home invasions, robberies, sorry, Clem, tours, statues hiding in wardrobes, Bunty's monster, and that was just in uni. But in all the time we've known each other, and to this day, we've never argued, not once. Now, to me, that's either the measure of a true friendship, or we've got some serious unresolved issues that we need to get out. Personally, I like to think it's down to the friendship that we have, and we have each other's backs. You got me right, boss? Yeah? Yeah? Okay. Because I still remember the beating that I took for you in Luton. Trying to cover you after we got jumped as we walked home after a party where some fool and his friends decided to run up on us because Bonty danced with his girlfriend. Again, this is the real Bonty you're hearing about here. But he also had my back too, right, Bonts? We're not going to bring up the time outside college when I had some trouble with a few boys. And they asked Bonts, why do you hang out with him? Now, there's me, you know, getting my blood up. I'm expecting him to back me up like, what? That's my boy. I heard the words, I don't know. Or, we're not going to talk about the time in Birmingham once, when we went to the Unifest, and he left me in the club while he headed back to the hotel on the real coach, thinking about his belly and food again, and left me outside drunk to get on some random coach with gunshots in the background and a mini riot underway. Sorry, Clem. But we're not going to bring up those times, or the fact that there was an empty seat next to him all the way back to the hotel, and not once did he think, Dev. But you got my back, right? Alright, cool. Despite that, I do know he's got my back. Over to Ash.
Cheers, Dev. Eggs at the pram, Bonts. I'm sorry we had to expose him on such a beautiful day. I bet Ellie's over there wishing we did this speech before she said I do. Sorry, Bunts, this don't get any better. So we played football together, we then started emailing each other at work about the games we played. And as we got to know each other more, we realised that we had lots in common. The emails got silly though. We went from talking about football, family and rap music to actually having rap battles with each other. In the end, the emails became a job within a job. Let me explain. You'd be doing your real job at your desk, and then suddenly, out of nowhere, you'd have to multitask because someone had just hit you with 16 bars of rap lyrics. I remember working through my lunch just to ensure my A game was coming to the email. Even my wife, Angela, clocked I was losing weight. I can't lie, it was stressful. I'd come home, and I'd have had a bad day at work. But it was nothing to do with work. Someone had just upset me with some rap lyrics calling me a little Mauritian who couldn't grow a beard. In our peak days, Dev here was working for a company called Multiplex back then. He set a record for the most emails sent out in the whole company. We was proud of him that day. Now, Bunty, back to your ruthless dad. Bunty was known as the picture assassinator. he would get involved in the rap wars, but if you come into for Bunty, expect your face to be photoshopped on some kind of animal. This guy was ruthless. Poor Dave here went through 6 months of counselling after Bonts tore him apart. Would you believe he put his face on a rat's body? A rat's body!
Don't do it.
Gave him a tail, no, I ain't coming out.
Oh, you could fly, man.
You're right. Gave him a tail and everything. He could be mistaken for a gerbil or like a friendly mouse or something, but a sewer rat, Dave was just in bits. How they stayed friends, I don't know. It wasn't just Dave who got it. Everyone got it. Here are some examples of Bunty's handiwork. So this is like my friend Kay over there as a fish. He was known as Kieran throughout life until Bunty decided he had fish lips and renamed him Kipper K. Is there another one of Dave or not? Oh yeah, there's me as a kebab man. Look, you put me as a kebab man. Liberty. Are you guys getting the picture here? He's not really this cuddly frog, is he? He would be making grown men cry at work with these pictures. I remember Kay even gave an excuse he had to leave the emails for 6 months because he was busy. Busy for 6 months. If you believe that, you believe Bunty has a heart. But this was the kind of things he was making people do. I think that's enough of that side of Bunty. Let's go back to the happier times. I will let Leon here continue with how the happy couple met and the work Bunty had to put in to get his woman.
A lot of work. So, the second time that we met Ellie. Now, I told you the last time that Ellie didn't make it easy for him. He had to speak to her for ages in the club. Wow. I could see Bunty sweating. All his best bars didn't seem to be working. But I never doubted the frog. He eventually got the number and leaped all the way back to the hotel. From there, they started the usual texting, talking, and began their long-distance relationship. Then comes the second time we went to Newcastle to meet Ellie. Well, not necessarily to meet Ellie, but I'll explain. I can't remember the actual points, but I remember Bunty and Ellie got to the point of a standstill. It seems Bunty's strong game that he once had was breaking down. Or his old bars weren't working on the younger girl. I don't know. So it all started going pear. That's basically what happened. We went up to Newcastle for the second time, but this time we decided to go to different clubs. We avoided the attic because we didn't want to see Ellie. Or rather, Bunty didn't want to see Ellie. But Bunty, oh boy, he had it bad. The general, as we once called him, looked as though he had taken voluntary demotion and was now just a cadet. Yeah, he still had the swagger about him in the club, you know, with that Cheshire grin that he has, but he was not the same, and I knew why. After the club, it was home time. The night was drawing to a close, but someone came up with the idea to go and walk past Attic. 3 guesses who came up with that idea. You meant to say. I think a certain somebody had tried to tell the frog that she weren't going out that night. So we went to do some investigating. So we get outside Attic and we could not believe our eyes. Not only is she out, but she's there talking to some next guy. Boy, Bonts started losing all his colour. He went from green to white. I felt for him, man. It was hard for me to watch. All I remember saying to him was, come on, let's go. She's not worth it. Forget about her. And it just wasn't working. So I'm just dragging him along the road, and he just and that was Bunty. So, but at this point, I knew that this girl had captured his heart in a way that no other girl had before. At a later date, Eddie told Bunty that it was just some guy that had been chatting her up and she weren't interested. To be honest, back then I didn't believe it, but I might believe that now. The explanation was good enough for Bonts, and somehow they began an extraordinary journey together. There's like 10 years between them. At the time, there was like nearly 300 miles between them, and I think they've been together like 8 years now. So we're here today on this special day. So if you ever needed evidence that some things are just meant to be, then just look at them two now.
That's lovely, Sense. That was lovely. Talking of far away, so Ash touched on how we met Bonts through a good friend of ours called Daly. Beefy, we call him. Big dude. Dude holding the chicken wing. So Daly is all the way in Dubai and sadly couldn't be here today, and it's a shame as I think he would have probably been particularly interested in this next part. So hopefully you'll see some footage of this. Okay, you recording, yeah?
Yeah.
This is for you, D. So the Bunty everyone knows, again, isn't the Bunty I remember. You know Jean Paul. I know Bunty, Swampy. So he used to be a little bit, I'm going to say awkward towards the ladies. If you think of him drunk and dancing, you're going to see it later. That's exactly the way he used to be. So I have to say, and I'm going to be real, I was really worried when Beefy moved to Dubai. I'm thinking, who's going to help him write his Valentine's and anniversary cards now? I think deep down Bunty was too, but I guess he was always at the end of the phone, right? Now you're probably wondering, where's he going with this? What are we talking about, Beefy? Well, like 1,000 MCs are to probably Puff Daddies and your Dr. Dre's, you know, Beefy was Bunty's main ghostwriter. Now that's someone who gives you lines to say to other people, girls, but whatever it is. So I took some of those duties for the first 5 years through college and uni, but when I settled down, got out of the game, Beefy became his main sponsor for bars. I mean, well, text, I should say. And Ellie, this was way before you, okay? So, way before you. So, see, again, the Bunty you see wasn't the Bunty we knew. And let's just say he needed just a tiny bit of help in that department. But the moment we met Ellie, and it's clear to all of our fears were gone because she's such a lovely girl. Obviously, you've done well and learned a lot. Almost all of the fears, I should say. You see, I always thought throughout the years of coaching, Bonts was ready to step out into the big bad world on his own. Well, one evening at my house, about 2 years ago, proved to me I was completely wrong. It was me, my wife, Bonts and Ellie. Conversation turned to marriage. So we're talking about it being time. You remember, yeah? We're talking about it being time and how they needed to step up the gears. Obviously no pressure. I know Clem's has been kind of putting the bug in their ear for a while as well. Anyway. So I could see his mind mulling over what was being said and then talk turned to the actual proposal. Now, Bunty uttered those 3 words. I think personally every woman dreams of hearing. I don't know about you guys. I'm not sure if it was 4 or the last was just a sound. But those sweet, beautiful, caring, sensitive, thoughtful words were, marry me, man, Char. And it was exactly like that. I'm pretty sure the real proposal was perfectly delivered by Swampy. But as I said at the time, and as I said exactly at the time, that's going in my speech, people. So, alright, enough for the slating now. I can honestly say there isn't anything I wouldn't do for these two. I hope it's clear I've always looked out for you, Bonts. I see you like you're my younger brother. And it's all come full circle from our days working in Safeway to us now working together in Barclays. It's great for me to see him as happy as he is, marrying a lovely girl like Ellie, and I'm sure you all agree they make a fantastic couple. Long may it continue that they live a happy and fulfilled life together. It's a great thing when you find that someone special. A hard thing, but a fantastic thing when you actually find it. And I'm glad that both of them managed to find each other. I read something once that stuck with me. Google. You find love not by finding the perfect person, because in reality that doesn't exist, but by seeing an imperfect person perfectly. Now, no matter what you go through, the two of you, and no matter what anyone else's views are, it's about the two of you and how you see things. Keep love in your heart and make allowances for each other because everyone makes mistakes, as minor as they are. Continue to grow and just continue to be happy, and I love you both.
Yeah, lovely, mate. Absolutely lovely. Okay, so as Ellie and Paul started to get more serious, we would do more stuff as couples with my wife. They would come to our house pretty much most weekends, or we'd go out to eat or go clubbing. This leads me to another one of Bunty's characteristics, his love for eating. I remember the first time they came to my house, and Ellie was me and Andrew was me and Ellie. We had a lovely evening and it was brilliant. So when they left, I'm there speaking to Ange and she's telling me how she likes them both and what a great couple they are. But then she paused and went, "But you see that Bunty? He really eats like a pig, don't he?" She weren't wrong. Bunty had finished our whole lasagna that we planned on eating for the next 2 nights. You may as well say he ate most of our weekly shop that night. Even when I left, I said, "I hope you're full, mate." His response was in some ungrateful tone, like I'd given him bread and butter for dinner. "Nah, not really, Ash. I just thought you greedy frog. I should throw you back in the swamp you came from." The problem is, and I'm sure all his family will back me up on this, he's never full. Ellie told me that sometimes she just catches him chewing on his frog legs in his sleep and has to wake him up before he eats his toast. I'm telling you, this frog has issues. All I would say is, if any of you are looking to invite the newlyweds round for dinner, make sure you're cooking for 10 people. This guy will clear out your fridge and cupboards. When he comes to mine, I don't even give him a plate now. Me, Ange and Ellie will take our serving and then he just eats out the curry pot or frying pan. I would like to end on something sincere that comes straight from my heart. I know Bunty's thinking after this speech, "You ain't got one, mate." I think the whole saying, "they were made for each other," gets thrown about quite a bit and it's quite cliche. But with these two, I truly believe it. Only time I've ever seen them argue is when Bunty nicks some chips off her plate. Their connection and banter is amazing, and the fact that they are lovely people, I have no doubt that these two are going to be happy forever. Guys, I know I've dug you out a bit here today, but you both know I will do anything for you, and that me, Ange, and my son Jake all see you as family. I look forward to seeing your love for each other grow in the future, and I can't wait until my son Jake has a little frog to play with.
So just to wrap this up now, I think it's quite fitting, based on what these guys have just said. You know, I didn't really think it was going to last between you two.
Thanks.
I know. I'm not usually wrong, but I was wrong there. You know, the main reason is though because Ellie likes the finer things in life, and Bunty will settle for the cheaper things. Back in the day when Bunty lived at Chaplin Way, some of you will know that place. Some great memories in that place. I would go around, and like some of my other friends will know this, I just help myself to the cupboard and the fridge. You know, they're my family. My house, your house, my house. But it was very rare for me to find anything in those cupboards or the fridge. If I did, I would always get a look from Bunty like, "What's this black fool doing? Why didn't he eat before he came round?" I remember the day that he gave me his chocolate flake crunch corner yogurt. Yeah, trust me. I thought Christmas had come early. I know, it's hard to get. I was around there last night, I saw some in the fridge, but I didn't dare take any. So trying to mix the two, I just couldn't see how it would work. Finer things, cheaper things, couldn't really see how it would work. But Bunty changed his game. He adapted to life in the Premier League, being with Ellie. And now I can't see anything but a long and happy marriage for these two special people. You could say that he started from the swamp, now he's here. Thank you. That's